Hey you guys, come along with me and let's get ready with a full face of makeup to see what is gonna go in my travel bag. All right, so I have loads of makeup and I never know what to pack and I overpack. So I thought, why not see what I actually use instead of overcluttering my travel bag, and let's get into it. So for starters, I'm using the Urban Decay Face Bond in the shade 7 Fair Neutral. And I've already prepped my skin and whatnot, so that's already there. I've used the, where is it? I've used the MAC Studio Fix in my T-zone just because I have oily skin. And for the rest, I've just used this Journey Pore Primer Cream. I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but I've used that all around my face like that. So here we go. I usually put a small amount because I don't like to have my face feel like it's intensely covered. So I do a light coverage just to smooth out my fine lines and really just make my skin try to look as young as it once was. And yeah, so I'm off to South Africa and we're planning to go to Johannesburg, which I've never been to before and I'm excited to go to. And we do have a safari in the mix, but I'm confused on what to pack because the weather has been so strange. So apparently it's freezing in the daytime. In the morning time and the evening time. And in the daytime, it's like getting quite warm temperatures. So it's gonna be interesting to know what I'm gonna pack. So for my foundation brush, I'm using the Morphe M6 brush. I also love to use the Kabuki brush from Sigma, the F80 Sigma brush. That has been my go-to for years. Best brush ever. But I also love the Morphe one. And for my bronzer, I'm going in with the Chanel Cream Bronzer. And this is, what shade is this? I know that I think it's number 2, shade 2. So it's not the lightest one, it's the darker one. The lightest one didn't quite show up on my face, so I don't really like, I like to be bronzed, like really bronzed, and probably more bronzed than what I should be, but anyways, that's another thing. That's why I like to have put that color in my skin, because if I could be anything, I would want to be a chocolate mocha color, definitely not this pale pasty white. I mean, you would think living in Dubai that I'd be out enjoying all of the sunbeds and the beautiful pools and whatnot, but it's plus 50 degrees out here. Nobody's going swimming. Nobody's going outside. And this is the Real Techniques brush that I've used I use the number 200 for my bronzer, and I use the same brush, but a different one for my cream blush. So for cream blush, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury wand, the magic wand, and this is, what shade is this? Dream Pop. So it is super pigmented. A little goes a long way. Literally like half a dot, if you can, like literally that, half a dot. Otherwise you're gonna have blush blindness is what my kids always call me, because I also love to put a lot of blush on. And this look is my go-to look, when I'm going to work, or I just want to do something really quick. If I'm not talking into the camera like I'm doing now and talking to you guys, I actually go through this whole process quite quickly. So it takes me a good 5 to 7 minutes just to do this simple look. I try not to fixate on taking too much time for my makeup because I got a lot of other things that I got to get to. So I love this look to be quick and fast. So I hope you're getting the gist of that. And then I've been recently loving this Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer in the shade 11. And this just adds, like, because I try to stay away from those powder products, because for my skin, like for somebody over 40, the powder products really like settle into my fine lines, and they just make me look older, and it makes my skin look really cakey. And I have tried it all. Like, I have tried, what do I have here? I have tried using, you know, the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. I've tried, you know, using any kind of moisturizing, what is this? This was the viral one there where you, it's called from Ilaria, the SPF 50 sunscreen sheer setting mist, and then like it adds that glow to your skin. Nothing worked for me, honestly. Nothing worked for me except for staying away from powders as much as possible. So if you're finding that with your skin, that it's looking like old, and because like I do have fine lines and whatnot, so then try using as much cream product as possible. That would be my suggestion. So now I'm gonna jump into my brows, and I have been loving this Dip Brow Pomade, and in the shade Auburn. Yes, I do have, what do you call this? I call it an ugly mousy color, to be fair. That's the color of my hair, that's the color of my eyebrows, and I would prefer to make them like a nice auburn, chocolatey type color, without making my eyebrows look so dark, because my hair is light. Like I use, like my hair is like highlighted with low tones and highlights, so I don't want my hair to be super blonde while my eyebrows are super black. So that's why I go with this auburn shade. And because I have a tattoo underneath, it nearly makes doing my eyebrows impossible, because I love the laminated look, love the laminated look, but because I have like this block eyebrow tattoo underneath, which like literally looks like Angry Bird, but until I get that laser removed, this is what I have to work with. So I just been loving this pomade, and in Dubai weather it doesn't slip and slide off, which has been such a blessing. All right, so my eyebrows are done, pretty much fine doing that. And now what I'm going to do is I use the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I spritz my face. So let's do that. There we go. And then I let that dry, and then I'm going to go in with my powder products. So like I said, less is more for me. I've been really loving this Chanel loose finishing powder, and mine is in the shade 30. Guys, if you want your face to feel like silk, you gotta try this. You've got to try this powder. It feels like butter on your skin, like just soft, smooth, buttery skin. And I tend to put this heavily in my T-zone and right here, because I crease a lot around, okay, I'm just like mixing that up, but right here, because I crease a lot around my mouth too. But yeah, I just put that in my T-zone, and that's it. I don't go crazy with going on the outside of my face, nothing like that. And then what I end up doing is taking my bronzer in the shade 2 medium from Charlotte Tilbury, and then I use this wonderful Tarte Kabuki brush. Love this brush for bronzer. And I just kind of set my cheeks where I put the bronzer, the cream bronzer, the Chanel one, and I avoid the middle because I've already set that with my powder, so I avoid the middle there. And although I have to still do underneath my chin, I don't do on top of the chin, because then that's just powder on top of powder, and we don't need that. And then with whatever's left on my brush, like I've pretty much, you know, deposited it where I wanted it, whatever's left, I just kind of go over so that it kind of just melts all together, marry it all into one. Just like that. And done. That's with my powder bronzer. And then I go in with the Airbrush Finish shade 2 medium, also in my Charlotte Tilbury blush. No, sorry. That is not true. It is in the shade Pillow Talk. And I use this blush with a really good blush brush, and this is the MAC one, and I've used it so much and washed it so much that it is actually washed down, so I can't tell you what number it is, but it looks like this, and this I've had for years. I love this brush. Years. And you know what my trick is to keep my brushes clean is I just use soap. So you know the what do you call it? Oh, the soap that is the antibacterial soap that they have over here. I just use an antibacterial soap and it cleans my brushes like magic. So I have my blush on, I have everything else all set, and I also like to take my blush and put it on my eyelids like so. And then at the very end, I like to take the Rare Beauty Memorize Liquid Luminizer, and I put it just on my nose and on my cheekbones. And then with my middle finger, I just kind of tap that into my skin to give me back that glow. Since I like to be pretty matte and I only like to put the glow where I really want the glow, this is really an important step for me because I don't want to look too matte, but I don't want to look greasy. I want to look like intentional, like that. And then I put my lipstick on. I've been loving this, the Superstay Teddy Tint, and it's been amazing. It's like a brown shade, so as you can see here. And browns are not usually my thing, but I've been enjoying the shade change because I've always just been gravitating towards berries and pinks. So I wanted something different, and I've really been enjoying this. And believe it or not, this lasts me all day long. And then once I've done that, then I take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Matte Blur Setting Spray, and you want to make sure you shake this up. Shake, shake, shake. And here we go. And that's it. There you have it. And there I have it. At least I know what I'm packing on my trip, and there's not that many products if you think about it. So thanks for coming along with me and doing a full face of makeup. I hope you enjoy this look. This is what it looks like. Very simple, very day-to-day wear. How about you? What do you pack on your trip?